Folks, join me in welcoming Baylor head football coach Dave Aranda joining us now on the Baylor Coaches Show. Welcome to you.
Oh, it's good to be here.
And I hope you heard Nikki. Great introduction from Nikki Collin coming off that big win in Lubbock. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah, team's in a good spot. We're excited about this Saturday. Really good opponent and opportunity to kind of get something going.
Was that, you'd played well, but in spots, not a complete game. Was that your most complete game and total effort of the year?
You know, what's exciting about that game and the practices we've had since is that, things can either be made really hard or it could be made really easy, and it's all the same things in so many ways. It's the same players, it's the same scheme. There's just so many things that just have to be in line, in tune, working together, and we've struggled to kind of get that rhythm, so to speak, up until Saturday, and we're able to get that. And then I think once you do that, then it's like, hey, you, man, or us, like we can do that. Like that's us. And everyone can see it. I think, there's always a coach and there's always a leader that can see it, but when everyone can see it, it's so powerful. And I thought we had guys playing really, really confident. I think to give confidence, to give belief when there hasn't really been a black and white example of it is hard to do. It's much easier to do something and for kids to see it tangibly and then to full-on believe in it. And I thought, the plays that were made in that third and fourth quarter were belief plays. Guys were playing confident, and we've continued that throughout the week.
Nice to get recognized by the Big 12 Conference. Sawyer Robertson, the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week, and Bryson Washington, Big 12 Newcomer of the Week.
Excited for both those guys. I'm proud of them, and they're going to keep on getting better. With Sawyer and just the way he attacks everything, and just how important it is to him, and how he's always putting God first, and how he's putting others first. It's just. I know with my boy, I would want my boy to do the exact same things and just take that same path that Sawyer takes. And it's just so proud of him in that respect. And then, Bryson's going to have a great career, and he's doing great in school. He's from a year ago to now, just his maturity has just gone out the roof in it. And it's cool to see when that happens. The football side of it happens too. Yeah. And I think that just helps with our argument with the rest of the team, that you can be both and do both.
For a guy like Sawyer going back home to Lubbock, I mean, this was a huge game for him, and then for him to come through and play, so strong as he did, it was just I was really happy for him also.
Yeah, a lot of people, and so the hotel we're at, he and Kyler Jordan, both from Lubbock, and so I thought we filled up our little Hilton, I can't remember, whatever it was, the breakfast room, the breakfast nook was filled with their parents and their families. It was really cool to be able to play that well in front of them. Pretty neat.
How about a guy like Matt Jones, who's not from Lubbock, but from West Texas? Did you get the feel that this was a big game for him also? Yeah,
I think Matt, I'm really proud of Matt. Matt is really playing good football, and I think what we've got to do collectively as a defense is get the point total down, and then I think more and more people will see Matt and see what he's doing. But I think, his professionalism, his eye to detail, his care factor, and it's one of the things is being around for a little bit. You can just see kids just grow up, and you can just see guys take to maturity and take to ownership and take to accountability. And I think of all those things when I think of Matt, so it's just so cool.
Somebody asked me in an interview earlier today on Oklahoma Station, who's the leader on defense? Who would you say that is?
Carl Williams comes to mind. Keaton Thomas comes to mind. I think those two probably are the most vocal. I think Matt is going to be kind of lurking behind there with one-on-one conversations and stuff. I think sometimes for a leader, you need someone that is making plays, is doing the right thing, but then is emotional and in the moment will say what needs to be said and kind of tell the truth. Mm-hmm. And I think Keaton would be that guy. I think Carl would be that guy.
Yeah. Tech scored a couple touchdowns late. They were calling timeouts, and they were playing till the final whistle. Mm-hmm. But was that a teaching moment for you?
Yeah, so mad.
You were, weren't you? Mm-hmm. Because you gave up those 2 touchdowns late to them?
Yeah. I mean, it should have been 21 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't have even been that. And so it's just so frustrating. I mean, that just, it's for us, a team that needed a win. I mean, we'll take any win we can get, but then to win and then to have it like that, just kind of, I don't know. It just it excuse my language, but it pisses you off. And so it's like I thought there was guys on the sideline that were pissed off with me.
Huh.
And so I just think we got to get a couple more that are pissed off with me, and then I think we'll be where we need to be.
You put the first team back in there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Defensively.
Yeah. I mean, what total different circumstance, but I think it's relatable in this way. In 2019, at the school I was at before, you would win 14-3 or 14-10 or 21-10, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2019, we had a quarterback and these receivers and all these things, and all of a sudden we're scoring 50 points and 40 points, and at halftime we're up 31-10 or something. And in the third quarter, our guys are looking in the stands and they're smiling and they're looking at their girlfriends or their friends of their girlfriends and all these things. And it's like, dude, we got to get back on the field and we got to play. And so there's that first half of 2019, we didn't play very good on defense. We're giving up 30-some points, 20-some points. And they were playing to win. They weren't playing to dominate, And so that had to be taught, and it's ugly when you teach that because everything counts, everything matters, every detail is important. When you take the field, there has to be a mindset regardless of the circumstance. And there has to be, we talked about maturity, there's got to be some maturity for that, And so we're in the teaching, growing pains of that. It's good that we can, do that when it's a win. When you get a win and you can still be mad and push kids and get kids where they're a little uncomfortable and they got to extend, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, good. So Coach Dave Aranda, our guest, and Coach, we're going to get to these questions from the audience now. I said this to Nikki earlier, but so many good questions, and if I hold it till the last segment, the last time I ran out of time, so we're not going to do that tonight. We're going to get into them right now,
okay,
if you're ready for it.
All right.
Here's a question from Geraldine Morrison and Kelly Crane and Damon Crump, who are right back there. It's a group question. They say, Sawyer Robertson is a breakout player this season. Can you talk about when you recognized his ability and development?
No, I appreciate that. I think with Sawyer, and I think this is true with all of us. I mean, there's always been a greatness in Sawyer. There's a talent that he has in throwing the ball. There's the attention to detail and the study that he has. His care factor has always been way, way strong, and his running ability. I think what's holding it together right now is that he's fully embraced, that he knows everyone believes in him, and I think he believes in himself. I think he would say that he believed in himself previous to now, and I think he was still working that out, and that would get exposed in bright lights and big moments, and I know how that feels like because I've done that too. I think we probably all have. And so to see the same guy walk in. But there's a light now with him, and everyone sees it. And if you get close to it, then you start to light up too. It's pretty cool. And it's one of the cool things about our job is that we can be front and center for that.
Yeah, nice that he played so well. You got a big lead, and you got to put DeQuan in for a couple of series.
Yeah, he played well. I mean, there's things that he can do that are just way, way special. I mean, he could be pound for pound our strongest guy, and he could be possibly our fastest guy. And so I think it'd be good by us to try to find ways to get him the football a little bit more.
Yeah. Would you ever use him in a different position? Say Sawyer's quarterback, maybe you split DeQuan out or something like that?
I think there's opportunity to play two at the same time. There's those discussions are happening right now, and to try to find ways where we can maximize. I think there's a couple teams that are doing that right now and having success doing that.
Yeah.
I think when you have the threat of someone that can run it and can make something happen in space but also can throw it, I think that opens up a lot of a lot of troubles for a defense.
Yeah. Sorry I asked you that in a public setting. That would
No.
be
No.
better asked in private, but thanks for that. Here's a question from Noni Orozco. Noni is right there. Are you considering Michael Allen addressing the team again this Friday? What a great young man.
Yeah, I knew going into last week that was something that it felt like it was the right thing to do. I try not to plan stuff like that too much. If the gut says it, then there's usually I trust the gut, I guess. And so I talked to Vic Valoria. He's our strength coach, and I said, "Hey, I'm kind of thinking this. What do you think?" And he goes, "Dave, that's the exact right guy." Mm-hmm. And so he got up there and just killed it. Mike's going to be a coach, and he's from a family of coaches. And I'm so appreciative of him and just his leadership. He was with us watching film defensively today. And so, in between classes and stuff, he comes in the staff room when we're watching tape and going through everything and taking notes and giving input. And so he's kind of like a player coach already in a way. But I don't know. I don't know about this one. We're probably in a different spot than we were last week than we are now. I have this picture that I show the team of it's a huge mountain, and there's all these steps that go up to the mountain. And so the mountain's way high, and there's all these steps. And I showed it to them 2 weeks ago, and we want to get up here, and we're somewhere down here. And if you just look up there, then it can get way frustrating and disappointing and bitter and angry and all this other thing. You got to look to get to this step to that step. And then you go from that step to that step, and it's one thing at a time. And so I think, we took a big step this past week, and we're taking steps throughout this week. I think the focus will be on that. I think playing a team that's looking for a breakthrough, that's looking for a big moment, that's looking for confidence, that's looking for all these things, we're going to have to play keep away from them with that and start fast and do some things that we've struggled to do throughout the year. And so I think our focus will be on that.
Very good. Noni, thanks very much. Along those lines, Scott Van Kelly asked, what is the key to slow down the Oklahoma State run game?
The running back, Ollie Gordon, way physical, is long. He's 6'2", 220, something like that, and is a long strider when he gets in space, but is a real patient runner and will cut back a lot. And so you got to be real patient on the backside counters. If you overrun it, he'll cut it right back, and then he can go the distance, And I was able to watch some of the game, the TV game last week. Obviously, there's a bunch of film this week, but in the TV copy, you could see just his fight and his want-to and his energy and all of it. And so it's just it's a dangerous man. It's a dangerous man. And so I think for us, the 4 quarters of setting edges, of playing gap control, and doing our job. I think the disguise factor is going to be really big with the quarterback they've got. I think the ball gets out really quick. He knows what you're in, and he kind of carves you up. It's kind of what it's been in the past when we played Oklahoma State. They've got a good beat on us, and the ball, we have a time to throw. If it's 3 seconds or more, there's a good chance defense is going to do something good. If it's less than 2 seconds, then he already knows what you're in. He's just going to catch it, get the laces, and get it out, and that's the majority of what they do. So we're going to have to play the disguise game as well as be gap control and gang tackle. I thought we tackled the best we did all year this past Saturday. We're going to have to do a better job coming up.
Very good. Good question, Scotty B. Thanks for that. Question from Brett. Coach, with all the potential distractions of homecoming, how do you keep the team focused this week?
Yeah, appreciate that. That's going to be that, that mountain and those steps, and it's just all, there's so much that you talk about. Name one team that whether it's the noise is good or the noise is bad, right? One team they can't let any noise in. I would say that'd be us by a million, And so to keep the focus on the focus, and there's just so much, that you look at the fourth quarter touchdowns. You look at the start of the third quarter offensively. You look at the drop passes early in the game. You look at the ability to kick the ball into the end zone. There's so many things that we've got to improve on. and we continue to keep the focus on those things. And I think after a win, you can really kind of hammer that stuff in because the kids know what we're capable of, and so that's really been the emphasis. Done a little bit more yelling this week than I normally do.
Yeah. How has what's the carryover you've seen from the win and then moving that forward?
Well, there's a confidence. Vic does our speeds for practice, and we've been playing really fast. And so I think there's always just like a juice that comes when you know you're going to win. When you know you're going to compete well, when you know you have the confidence to do this or that. And so we talk about that light that can light up other guys and stuff. And so that for sure is there. I think the thing for me is, right, not being up here, not being down here, but being just right here and just one step at a time and focus on the stuff that's right in front of us. I think if we do that, then things are going to take care of themselves.
Ooh, that's great. From Rudy's this evening with Coach Dave Aranda. Coach, we had one question added late. Let's do this. Let's get this in front of you from Robert. Appreciate Robert. And it's a good question. It seems as though the core of this team really embodies the culture of Baylor. What are your thoughts on this, and what can you attribute that to?
I think there's so many people at Baylor that really care. And I think, I remember when I first came to Baylor from previous school, and there were some people that came that was with me that were at the previous school, came to Baylor, and it was there was maybe one the first week, and then there was maybe two the next week, and there'd be another the following month. But they'd come into the office and they close the door and they go, Dave, are people messing with me? Because everyone was so nice, and they're going, are they messing with me? Is this for real? And like people remembered like their wife's name and their kid's name, and people remembered, this anniversary or this birthday or just, their kid at a game, and they asked about the game, and they close and they go, you guys playing? Is this a game? Are you messing with us? And so I just think when you're not in that environment, and it's always kind of a battle for position, or it's a battle for power, and it's a power play, I guess, then I don't know, you always look at life like that. And when it's not that kind of opens you up, and sometimes you may not when you look at yourself, you may not like what you see, and then you kind of do work, and then you show up. And that whole thing is a cool thing. I think our guys go through that, and I think Baylor helps with that.
Very cool. That's great. Final thought, and we'll get you out of here. I know you got blinders on, football, Oklahoma State this week, but the World Series begins on Friday, and your Dodgers are playing the Yankees. What do you think about that matchup?
I think every time I watch them, they give up runs, and they don't play well. So when I don't watch them, they win. And so I'm going to plan to not watch them at all. I got you. Yeah. All right. But you're a big Dodgers guy, aren't you? I am. Yeah. I am. That's fun. Max Muncy, Baylor guy. Excited. Playing well. So it's the history of this, I imagine all the TV channels are loving it, with the Dodgers and the Yankees. Such history there. Yeah. But just so cool. What the Dodgers are doing with just all the injuries they have, and obviously they got all this money, but they've got so many workman-like guys kind of having career years, and it seems like they're a team of destiny. So I hope that's the case. That'll be fun. Thanks for being here. Good luck on Saturday. Thank you. All right, Coach Dave Aranda, Baylor and Oklahoma State, 2:30 Saturday.